Let's talk. Let's talk. I ain't been live all day, so I'm here. I'm here. Mm, Late, but I'm here. Been a lot of news since I went live when Mike was let go. So let's talk. A little bit too much news to do just a video. I was gonna come in and do just a video, but it's just too much going on. So we here now. Dak owns Philly. What's good? Hit the like button. Brandy Mahoney. What's goody? Big Dre, what's good? What's good? What's good? The wordologist, what's going on? Droku, what's good? Matt Williams, be kind to each other. My dog, Jason Dabney, Christopher Branham, Brandy Mahone. I already got Brandy. I'm sorry, Brandy. Michael Clark, Leroy Kimball, Loki, what's goody? Ellis Randall, what's going on? Idari Hughes, what's going on with y'all, man? Hit that like button as y'all come in. 80 people in a minute. That lets me know y'all ready to talk. Lets me know that y'all ready to talk. And I ain't mad at y'all. I am not mad at y'all. You know, somebody just came in and said Deion Sanders. Yeah, man, a lot has happened. Mike got let go, or Mike didn't say he wasn't coming back, or whatever, however you want to phrase it. Mike didn't get fired, but Mike, they agreed to part ways, and a lot of stuff has happened. And I've been like, sometimes it's cool to just kind of fall back and kind of just let things happen. And I've been chilling because I was like, you know what? I need to see a couple of pieces start, making sense. Jane Slater been out there killing it. John Machota. It's been all kinds of news and ideas floating around. You know what I'm saying? Camo was good. iRock was good. Jamal Heath was good. Tony Brown, shout out Big Boss. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Everybody I missed, my fault. Charge it to me running my mouth and not to my heart. I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button as y'all come in. Um, and things are not taking shape as I thought. I was listening to Jane Slater recently, um, and she was talking about, because I took note, Joe. It get crazy because I be going off my dome, and like I got a lot of stuff in my mind. I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing this for a couple years, so I don't always need to take notes, but because I can store a lot of stuff in my mind. It's so much going on. I started to take notes earlier. You know what I'm saying? And right before I got on here, I watched one of the clips from Jane Slater, and she was saying that Jerry's been calling a lot of people. Troy outsider, first time catching a live. Appreciate you, Troy, man. Hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. I do this a pretty decent amount of times a week, and I drop content every day. So I appreciate you, man. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, Troy. You know what I'm saying? Get a seat, man. I do this a lot. Appreciate you. Ricky Moore, stick around, homie. Yeah, we a family over here. Brian Peters, what's good? Appreciate y'all welcoming people. We a welcoming family. You know what I'm saying? Jane said he been calling a lot of people, but he hasn't called Kellen Moore yet. Katrina Kiss, what's good with you? Katrina always come in. I love when people do that thing, man. They come in, they speak to everybody. They take, like I say, like y'all know my saying. Y'all take y'all shoes off, acknowledge the owner of the crib. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Speak to everybody in the crib before you go get something to eat. Y'all been doing y'all thing, man. I appreciate y'all. Wipe your feet before you enter. You already know Ricardo Clark. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up to everybody in the chat. It's just manners. We just showing each other manners. 165 people in here in 4 minutes is amazing. I appreciate y'all. As I was saying, Jerry's been calling a lot of people. Actually, in true Rome fashion, I know it's not as technical as it needs to be. Y'all want me to just play the Jane Slater clip? I can shut up for 2 minutes, let her talk. I can play it. We can digest it like that. Y'all want to hear it? I can just play it from my phone. I don't care. It ain't as technical as it needs to be, but we're going to make it work. I can do that. Let me go ahead and find it. You know what I'm saying? That way y'all can hear it, and then we can talk about it as a family. All right.
Well, Tom, I've just been busy trying to run down whether this Deion stuff has any real legs to it. We both know that Jerry and Deion are good at making sure they can command the headlines. They certainly did just that. Last night, I've reached out to Colorado's AD, Rick George. Rick, call me back because I'm trying to get a handle on what Deion's current situation is there. You know, he signed a 5-year deal. He's 2 years into it. There's been some talk that there has potentially been an extension on the table in front of the Regents. And so is Deion using this leverage to get paid a little bit more?
Y'all heard that, right? Deion's probably using this for leverage to get more money. I ain't mad. I kind of saw the play, but we're going to talk about it. Hold on. I went back too far.
And so is Deion using this leverage to get paid a little bit more and stay in Colorado? Is the interest from Jerry real? I think the interest from Jerry is absolutely real. I guess the question is, does Deion want to come here? And the reason why I asked that is talking to a lot of people that are close to that program. I used to work in the Denver market, is the autonomy that Deion enjoys there, not to mention the staff. He's got a very large staff there. And as one person put to me today, is Jerry going to allow him to bring in all of those? Tom, as you know, Mike McCarthy was asked to reduce his staff, and Jerry is not really high on paying his coaches here. And so it's my understanding, talk to a bunch of people on many different sides of this thing. I'm trying to get a 360 view on this.
This is the part that I like.
It sounds like Jerry's been on a bit of a solo mission. He is picking up the phone. He is making calls. It's my understanding that he has not yet called Kellen Moore. He has not yet called Cliff Kingsbury. He's not yet called Sarkisian.
That's important. Y'all heard, he hasn't called Kellen Moore. He hasn't called Cliff Kingsbury, but he's been making a lot of calls. That stuck out to me. So he calling people. The people I thought he would call first, he ain't called yet. It's just this. Okay. All right, let me.
He was asked to reduce his staff there. And as one person put to me today, is Jerry going to allow him to bring in all of those? Tom, as you know, Mike McCarthy was asked to reduce his staff, and Jerry is not really high on paying his coaches here. And so it's my understanding, talk to a bunch of people on many different sides of this thing.
Y'all hit that like button.
360 view on this. It sounds like Jerry's been on a bit of a solo mission. He is picking up the phone. He is making calls. It's my understanding that he has not yet called Kellen Moore. He has not yet called Cliff Kingsbury. He's not yet called Sarkisian down at the University of Texas. Sark, to get out of his deal, that would cost about $6 million. I was told with Deion it would be about $10 million, and then that goes down over the length of his contract from 5 years. And then Pete Carroll's another name out there, and John Gruden.
Pete Carroll?
John Gruden has not gotten a call yet. That's my understanding. Nothing official there.
Didn't call Gruden?
And even with John Gruden, he is represented by Bob Lamont. Bob Lamont likes to get his guys 5 years deals, and they're typically making well over $10 million a year. So this is the situation that they find themselves in. Now, one name I didn't want to necessarily throw out yesterday,
Listen to this.
and Tom, was Jason Witten. It's been my understanding that Jerry has talked to Jason in recent weeks, and I do believe that he was part of a plan that Jerry initially had when he was going to bring back Mike McCarthy. I think the plan there was to make him an heir apparent of sorts. Mike McCarthy sort of surprised him by deciding that he wanted to end these conversations, pursue something else. We can call them negotiations, contracts, conversations, whatever you want to call them. Now we'll see if Jason Witten will still be in play here. I just don't know if that would be in a head coach role, but I do believe that he thinks very strongly of Jason Witten and his future as a coach. I just don't know in what capacity that would look like.
Is your prime plan really?
All right. All righty. So how y'all feel about that? It's a lot to digest. That's why I had to take some notes. According to that, it's a lot to digest, and don't rewind it now because I'm live. But rewind it, watch it. The clip is on Twitter if you want to find it. Type in James Slater. It won't be hard to find. I did see a super chat blow past me. I don't want to miss no super chats. Let me go back and read that, and we'll talk about it. Too cool. $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Deion will be the coach. Buffs can't pay more than Jerry. Yes, they can because they're willing to. D2D only getting us to the Super Bowl. Listen, I think Deion Sanders, let me be clear. I think Deion Sanders will be a great coach for the Cowboys. There's 283 people in here in 10 minutes. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hit that like button for me. We just getting started. Thank you, Too Cool, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Jerry Jones probably could pay more than the Colorado Buffs. In essence, he has the money. He's not poor. Richest franchise, et cetera, whatever you want to do. But he doesn't have the willingness. Deion Sanders would be a great coach here. But Jerry Jones does not want to pay nobody, not even just Deion, nobody, that type of money. He hasn't shown it. He maybe used to would have done it, but this ain't 20, 30 years ago. Jerry Jones is a very cheap, frugal gentleman. He's very well off, but he don't like to spend no money. So back to the wordologist. He would have to prove it to me. I don't believe it. Jerry is about to make history as one of the first NFL GM, first NFL owner, GM, and coach. He better not. I appreciate that $5 super chat. I don't know what I would do. I would make this an all NFL channel. I would do something. I wouldn't be just talking Cowboys. If Jerry Jones started to coach, CFT would be NFT. And I ain't talking about the other NFTs. It'd be like National Football Fan Talk. I'm telling you right now, if Jerry Jones decided to come out here and coach, that might be my final straw. But back to what Jane was saying, because some of the stuff stood out to me. He hasn't called Kellen. And I know it could be a lie, but I don't think Jane is lying because Jane be beefing with Jerry at press conferences. Jerry then got a little snippy with Jane. I don't think they necessarily best friends. There's people in the media that spin stuff for Jerry, and then there's people in the media that keep it funky. Jane Slater might have used to spun stuff for Jerry, but she kind of keep it real. He can't call Kellen yet. I thought that you could request interviews. I saw the Saints submit an interview request. You can. They don't have to acknowledge it, but I thought you could submit for interview requests, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, then maybe I stand corrected. I thought that some people had submitted to talk to Kellen, but I stand corrected. I thought that you could interview, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I guess you couldn't. I think it was on the bye week. Okay. No, not while they're playing. It was before. Okay. So I get it. Like the coordinators for the Lions could have actually communicated with people right before the playoffs started because they had that bye. But once you start playing, I get it. I get it. Y'all right. My fault. I get it. So I guess you can't talk to him. So duly noted. Duly noted. I still feel like Jerry would call him though on the side, but he probably can't report it. So you're right. You're right. I give you that. So Kellen might have gotten a text. Hey man, Jerry hit Kellen on the side then. Hey man, don't forget about us. What? Jonathan Martinez, $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Jonathan. I'm more worried about the head coach's supporting staff. I don't want more of Jerry's friends and coaching staff. I think we're going to get that regardless, man. You're right, though. It's an excellent point. I don't want it neither. You're right. Rome, do you really want Kellen Moore? Rome could tolerate Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore knows offense. He pisses me off with them curl routes. I will say that every time. Kellen Moore, with his stubbornness with curl routes, I will say this. Kellen Moore has learned how to run the ball. He has. Them curl routes and stop routes used to piss me off. But I will give him a chance. Hopefully he's evolved some. My thing with Kellen Moore ain't got nothing to do with his offensive prowess. My thing with Kellen Moore has everything to do with, does he know how to command the room? Can he lead men? Can he get us ready for a playoff game? The answer to me is no. Prayers to everybody in Los Angeles. Every time I see that, I'll be forgetting that there's some real life happening right now. And although coaching search is very important to us, everybody in the chat, please put prayers in the chat for everybody in Los Angeles because that's some real stuff. And if you're not in LA or you're not near LA, you might not understand the magnitude of it, but it's real out there. Prayers to everybody that's out there, or you got family out there. It's real. Hope everybody stays safe as possible. You know what I'm saying? Um, the thing that stuck out to me, one of the most biggest things that stuck out to me during that interview. Well, let me address the elephant in the room. Let me address Deion one more time. When she said that Deion is trying to get an extension, and all college coaches do this. This isn't a Deion Sanders problem. I've seen Nick Saban do this. I've seen Dabo Sweeney do. Everyone does this. I might leave. Let me get a bigger bag. So I'm not going to just peg that on Deion. It's just perfect timing. That particular thing about wanting to get money, he was trying to get an extension before the Jerry Jones news, before the Mike McCarthy news. He didn't just go for an extension like because of the Mike McCarthy thing, but it's convenient. So yeah, if you're Deion and you're a smart negotiator and you're trying to negotiate a bigger deal because you're getting bigger recruits, and he just got like 2 quarterbacks to commit after Shador. What's your biggest bargaining chip? Well, the most notarized franchise in America, they might be coming after me. So, might want to sweeten the deal. I get it. Get your money, Deion. Too cool. 199 super chat. Jerry and Deion have too much respect to use the media. I don't know about that. Look, man, that's prime time. Deion know if anybody know how to use the media, it's prime. And anybody who loves to know how to media is Jerry. So too cool. I respect the super chat, but I respectfully disagree. But like I said, there's 2 conversations. Do I think Deion Sanders could do a good job at coaching the Cowboys? Do I think Deion Sanders would do a good job at being the Cowboys head coach? Yes. I think he would instill some swagger, a new culture. He would make us feel like it's us against the world. The same thing he's done for the Colorado Buffs, he could do here. He can instill some different type of confidence. I would like to see the swag I see before and after games from our Cowboys. Tired of coming out the thunderstruck and everybody look flat. So yes. Nick Reader, 699 super chat. Appreciate you, Nick. Rome, why aren't people talking about Wes Phillips enough? He's OC for the Vikings. We've seen how they look, and his dad, Wade, is our former head coach. Well, he might be in consideration, but we haven't gotten there yet. It doesn't seem like this is going to be a quick search. We're not going to get a coach within a couple of days, I don't believe. This thing is lasting to the end of the playoffs. I'm letting you know right now. We're not getting our coach no time soon, y'all. So that's one thing I know for sure. What's up, Lola Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan. What's good with my dog, man? You was spitting earlier on Twitter, man. Y'all go follow Angry Cowboys fan, man. One of the best in the game right now, man. The thing I respect about Angry Cowboys fan, he like me. He speak with passion. I'm not saying nobody else isn't passionate, but you can tell when somebody really care about this stuff, man. He care. Everybody don't care. I appreciate you, man. Some people just in this business because it's lucrative, but he care, and I care too. Splash Brother, I like that name, Splash Brother. $5 super chat. He forces his own kids to bust their behinds out there. Nothing is handed out to them. He controls his locker room, players and staff. You talking about Deion? Yes, sir. I agree. Let me get you a mod, my brother. I agree. But like I said, there's two parts of the conversation. Would Deion be a good coach? And we can talk about that ad nauseum. I think he would. Some people might think he won't because they think he brings the circus. If you're a Cowboys fan, man, look at yourself in the mirror. You probably got a nose on. We all in the circus. We don't want to be, but we in the circus because our owner put us there. So the circus doesn't bother me. Can you get my players prepped and ready to win? I think I'm off of the whole wanting a coordinator as a coach. I don't want my coach calling plays no more. I want my coach focused on the team and the game. Get a dope offensive coordinator. I don't need you calling plays. There's only a special few that can do that. Everybody can't multitask like that. Droku. Facts, bro. I'm just saying. Andy Reid can. Appreciate y'all too. Let's get it to 200 likes, man. There's 324 people in here. Andy Reid can multitask. Sean McVay can multitask. Everybody can't do it though. I need somebody focused on the whole team. That's just me. Albert's $10 super chat. We need someone to slow Jerry Circus down. Seems like we need a ringmaster more than a coach. Maybe. I agree. I said the other day, I want somebody that can come in here and be a fast talker like Jerry. I feel like a person that can make Jerry see things their way is important. Not try to trick him and be a swindler, but hey, man, I think we should do it this way. I think we should actually sign a free agent or two. Y'all said I should pin that comment. Brandy, they have spoken. I'm gonna pin Albert's comment. I can't pin it because it's a super chat. They won't let me. Dang, Alberts. Y'all like that joint. Run it up, man. Fire emojis from Al's comment. It won't let me pin it because it's a super chat. I guess I can only pin regular comments. My fault, Al. But that was a dope comment, man. I'll read it again. We need someone to slow Jerry Circus down. Seems like we need a ringmaster more than a coach. That is a powerful statement. Very powerful statement. That's why I was saying someone that can you need somebody that knows how to work with Jerry. Because Jerry ain't changing. Jerry's going to feel like he's the smartest in the room. But what can a good salesman do? Make you feel like you're getting a deal when you're not. You need somebody that can man the room and can make Jerry feel like he's getting his way when he's not. That's the coach I want. Now, if Deion's not coming here, like I said, I think Deion would be a great coach. Do I think Deion is coming here? No. I just don't see it happening. Too much ego, not enough money from Jerry. It's just a lot of components that it's not happening. Somebody said a voodoo priest. I'm afraid to joke on voodoo. I don't play them games, so respect. That's just not something I'm joking about. Nope. I would love Aaron Glenn. Yes. I feel like I watched a video clip of Aaron Glenn recently. First of all, his passion on the sideline is real. His resilience is real. That man has lost Aiden Hutchinson and like 4 or 5 other starters, and he has his players ready to go and play every week. Joe Boo for coach. See, y'all playing around. Y'all think it's funny. Shout out to Mark Holmes, though. I like that. Now, Ben Johnson is the same on the offensive side of the ball, but like I said, I feel like Ben Johnson is way out of here. He already has an ego. Jerry ain't dealing with no new ego. But Aaron Glenn has a couple things on his side that I didn't realize when I started to do this research. One, I didn't know Aaron Glenn was from Texas. Jerry and them really love people from the area. He's from Texas. Check. He's a former Cowboy. Check. And he was a Parcells guy, which means I like his fabric. It's a reason why I could tell why he's so detailed as a defensive coordinator. He was a player during the Parcells era. Check. I like that. Generational Geckos, $4.99 super chat. All I know is that Jerry is going outside of the Cowboys family for a coach. I'm going to say Zim will be our next head coach. No, all I know is Jerry ain't going outside the family. My fault. I misread that. I think Zim will be our next head. I think Zim is like the fail safe. He's going to try a bunch of stuff. If he can't get Kellen, if he can't get this, if he can't get that, he'll ask Zim. Zim did say the other day he loves coaching. So I respect that. He won't give Al Harris. I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. Because I know y'all hate when I talk about racial stuff and it's not fun, but it's real. Let's be adults here. Might be some kids in the building, but let's be adults. Racial components, perception, visuality, all that stuff matters. Al Harris got locks. He's not letting a black. First of all, we got to get over the stereotype. Will he hire a black coach? I ain't gonna mince words. Will Jerry Jones hire a black coach? Y'all can say yes or no in the chat. I'm leaning like 70, 80% no. I hate to say it. So Aaron Glenn got a large thing to overcome. And he a dark-skinned black. Hey, let's just be real. Let's be adults. I ain't saying it's fun. It's realistic. But if you put like color to the side, you ain't getting no black coach with locks. Like you starting to reach. So, and I know that sounds petty. Like, why does his hair matter? It matters, man. It really does matter. It don't matter to me. Brands, HBCU. Trust me. Wife's a AKA. Hey, listen. Love my community. And I'm sure all y'all do too. But let's just be real. Corporate America is different. Corporate America, and the Cowboys are corporate America. Let's not get this twisted. It's different. So I don't think that Al Harris would get a shot. We know we were seeing Jerry in those rallies back in the day against black people. And I'll give Jerry this amount of grace. A lot of things can change since those rallies. I'm not saying Jerry is racist, but there are some racial components to the Dallas Cowboys. And if you don't want to see that, I ain't here to try. This ain't a racial program. I'm not here to try to break down and teach you why there's racial components to the Cowboys. That ain't for me to say. But I ain't going to sit in here and be naive. We ain't going to do that. So is that cool? Is that fair? Let's not be naive. Can I get y'all to at least agree to that in there? Let's not be naive, y'all. I don't want y'all to get mad at me, but I'm just being real. We're not going to be naive now. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Camera's acting stupid. All right, we back. All right. I just ain't want y'all to get mad at me. I know that you start bringing up race, people like, I'm done with Rome. Hey, man, we just adults. I'm 41 years old, heading towards 42. We grown. Let's not act like we stupid. But all that to the side. Aaron Glenn, I think Al Harris one day his football acumen is there. But maybe another team will give him a chance. I don't know if it'll be here. Aaron Glenn just seems to have it. You do your own research, go watch. You see what he's doing with the Detroit Lions. And I watched him on the Pivot podcast, and he was talking about how he relates to his players and how important it is to relate to new age players, younger players, building a friendship, checking in on them, watching film with them, inviting them to his house. And I know all that sounds real basic, but apparently it's not a normal thing. L. Dot, that's why I'm here, Rome. Keep it real. I'm trying to keep it real as possible, boy. I appreciate you, dog. I do. I really appreciate you. So, and I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy didn't try to relate to his players, because he very well may have, but Mike McCarthy ain't our problem no more. Or our blessing, or however you want to put it. He don't work for us no more. I'm talking about the next coach. I want our next coach to build a bond with our players and help them. You know what I'm saying? So I like Aaron Glenn. Now that I've given you my candidate I really like. And yes, I wouldn't be mad if we can get Ben Johnson. I just feel like that's such a pipe dream. It's not happening. Ben want like $19 million and full control. And Jerry, no. Aaron Glenn actually being a Cowboy before, he's been in that building. He know how to get down. He know how to get down. Right? Do y'all want to talk about this whole Jason Witten thing? Because I feel like there's a spin to it. I feel like this. Jane Slater saying this. Jane Slater saying that when he was negotiating with Mike McCarthy. $2 super chat from my guy Brandon Fife. Appreciate you, dog. What's good with you, Brandon? Hopefully next week, hopefully the next works on run blocks and scheme. I think the next coach should emphasize the run because I still want to draft Ashton Genty. This ain't necessarily draft talk, but I do. We'll get back to it. We got plenty of time. Off season just started, baby. We only a week in, 2 weeks in. We here. Plenty of time to talk about draft picks. But right now, it's 390 people in here. First of all, salute. How y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? If you're new here, appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'm Rome or CFT, what you see over my right shoulder. Appreciate y'all. She was speaking about Jason Witten, right? And Jerry, he said that Jerry was trying to get Jason added to the staff. Jason is a big, I don't want to say a big high school coach in Texas because that might be giving him a lot. But with our offensive staff changing and Lunda Wells, Lunda, Lunda, that was our tight ends coach. He's obviously, Lunda Wells is probably going with his coach in Mike McCarthy. So he was trying to get Witten added to McCarthy's staff, is what she was saying. This ain't my words. This is Jane's word. My thing is this. If he was trying to add Witten to his staff, right? Check this out. That means he was trying to find a teacher. So I started to think, well, who might be in play? Because if he wants Jason Witten to eventually be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Rizzo, CFT, has Jerry called you? I wish. Shout out to my dog Amp, man. Amp Sports, man. Y'all go subscribe to Amp too. Amp, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna read that in 2 seconds. Jerry don't want to call me. I'm gonna keep it funky with Jerry. Listen, Jerry, let's stop playing, man. We need to make an excellent choice. Let's stop worrying about publicity. Let's get somebody that can come in here and do their job for real. But that's just me. Jerry ain't trying to hear me. Amp Sports with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, dog. Hearing most of the casuals call for Kellen Moore doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's the easy choice. It's the path of least resistance. Kellen Moore is the path of least resistance. However, these Cowboys content creators spreading this awful nonsense is pure blasphemy. The cap for Kellen is unreal. Who's Amp? You don't got to say it out loud. Amp, send me a DM on Twitter because I don't got your number. Cowboys _fan talk. Let me know who's saying it. I'm not spreading anything about Kellen Moore. I know Kellen knows offense. He a former Cowboy, and the Cowboys loved him. So I can see it happening. I'm not advocating for it. No. Not at all. But I appreciate that super chat, my brother. Jason Witten, like I said, he wants Jason Witten to be groomed. And this is why I don't think Kellen Moore gets a shot, y'all. Listen to this. If Jane said Jerry had been in contact with Jason Witten, I don't think he wants Kellen anymore. I think he wanted Kellen to be Jason Garrett. But when Kellen left, there was beef. That's true. You keep hearing people saying that they got to mend some fences. I think when Kellen left, there was some beef. But I think Jerry's new mold of clay, his new project, isn't Kellen Moore. You can't do two at once in my mind. I think his new one, Kellen No More is hilarious, is Jason Witten. And I think it's Jason Witten because Jerry has googly eyes for Dan Campbell. Jerry sees Dan Campbell, he's like, I want some of that. He can picture Jason Witten with a cowboy hat on, looking like the spitting image of a Dallas Cowboy. Jason in shape. I ain't trying to, hey man, he got the jawline. He looked like what Jerry want. No homo. I ain't checking Jason Witten out. Pause. And you know the Cowboys are all about imagery. They ain't all about football. I'm sorry. Crimson Chin. That's a fact. Jason, yeah, no diddy. Jason just looked like what Jerry wanted as a Cowboy. But Jason ain't ready to be no damn head coach. Jason Witten is not ready to be a head coach. If he got added as a head coach, he would have to give him a long leash because Jason would fail for a little while. There's only one way you can make Jason Witten a head coach. It's the same way you made Dan Campbell the head coach. You surround him with so many dope coordinators, he can't fail. So if Jason Witten became the head coach, they would go get some hotshot coordinators. They would do their job. There wouldn't be no bullish coordinators. But what I think is in play, which is what I heard, which is one of the things I heard that she brushed past it. What about Pete Carroll, who interviewed with the Raiders today? Now, first thing somebody gonna say about Pete Carroll is what? What's the biggest problem with Pete Carroll? I can hear it now. What's the biggest problem with Pete Carroll? He's too old. I get it. He in his 70s. But is he too old if you're like, hey, Pete, can you come do 2-3 years? And during that 2-3 years, you mind training up my protege? Pete, come teach Jason how you do this thing. I wanted Mike to do it. Mike don't like me no more. Can you do it? John Gruden wouldn't do it. John Gruden wasn't called too. She said that. Now, Pete Carroll would do one thing that we want. A lot of us been saying this. Pete Carroll would run that ball. Hey, Dak Prescott, chill your ass out. You down to about 27 to 30 attempts. We getting 25 attempts a game, big dog. Oh, Pete Carroll gonna run that pill. That's a good thing. Brandy, that's a good thing. I love Dak, but we need to run that rock. So Pete would do that. Pete doesn't have staying power. If you want a coach that's going to be here a long time, no. Pete be forcing to run sometimes. Well, Mike McCarthy used to force the pass sometimes, so let's try the other part. But although he's old, like I said, I bet you my bottom dollar. If we brought Pete Carroll in here, it would be a package deal. Pete Carroll, they start introducing the staff. Jason Witten, tight ends coach, 100%. Y'all believe that? That sounds stupid to y'all. And Pete would do something. Hey, Pete, man, we're gonna go ahead and keep Mike Zimmer on as your defensive coordinator. Pete Carroll, I don't care. Do you think? I think Lunda Wells is going to follow Mike McCarthy. So I think Lunda's gone. But my point is this: staff beyond that. Does that make sense to y'all? You got to think like that with Jerry. You can't think black and white. You can't think logical things like go get Aaron Glenn and let him build a staff. Nah, Jerry ain't doing that. Jerry likes box office. Y'all know that. Jerry could package Pete Carroll to the old fan base. And he would bring in Jason Witten as the tight ends coach. He would go get him a good offensive coordinator. And then in 3 years, I think it would be 3. I think Pete Carroll's deal would say 4 years, but in 2 to 3 years, Pete Carroll, he wouldn't have to fire Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll would retire. Y'all bookmark, or y'all can't bookmark this, but y'all, and then Jason Witten would take over. Am I saying it would work? Hell no. I don't know. It's no. I don't know how that would work. I'm not here advocating for Jason Witten. I could just see it. If James Slater's reporting that he made calls because he was trying to get him added to Mike McCarthy's staff, that means that's his new project. And you can't bring Kellen Moore in here because Kellen Moore would think this is about to be my team for 8-9 years. No, it's not. So I think the new goal is to find a coach that can be a what? This is going to piss everybody off. I think our next coach is going to be a bridge. Well, everyone's going to be a puppet because it's Jerry Jones. I hate it. I think it's going to be a bridge. I hate it so much. I would love to just get Aaron Glenn and let him focus on building a staff. Instead, the next coach is going to be, it could be a scapegoat, but he's going to be a bridge to get Jason Witten trained up to eventually be our coach. Bridge to Jason Witten, Vinny. I ain't saying it's great. Please don't mistake me saying because I think it's going to happen and I love it. Zimmer does fit that. If he couldn't get somebody, he could just have Zimmer teach him. But I will say this though. You know what happened earlier? I was look, so much was going on. It's like I seen an interview from Jason Garrett talking about this situation. My dog, Micah Parsons came out talking about it. Micah said something earlier that kind of tipped his hand to something, and I'm gonna make a video on it by the morning. Witten needs to get some experience. That's why I said I think you're gonna try and get him added to the staff, Vinny. No question. I agree with you. I agree with you. Troy's still in here, man. Should I give Troy a mod? Troy been rocking with us. Once Jerry is gone, do you think Steven will be the same way? I actually don't. Troy, I'm gonna give Troy a mod. Troy been watching this stream since the beginning. Get a mod. Appreciate you, Troy. You in the building. You part of the squad. Glenn White, $2 super chat. Just jumped in. You don't like Deion? Nah, Glenn. Appreciate you for the $2 super chat. I do like Deion. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I would love Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders would mark off my biggest check mark. New culture. Zimmer could be the bridge. You're right. No doubt, Troy. Welcome to the family. Zimmer could 100% be the bridge. Keith Hendricks, are you doing? I think he's saying, how are you doing, Rome? I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm a little tired, but I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Getting over a cold. God bless you. God bless you. I appreciate you. Vinny asking some good questions. I like Vinny, man. Vinny, I would like to see Aaron Glenn become our head coach, defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He's a former Cowboy. He's from Texas. He was a player that was under Bill Parcells. He knows football. I would love to see Aaron Glenn here. He looks to be a leader of men. He's lost multiple starters on his defense, and he has them those Detroit Lions playing like they playing hard on the defensive side of the ball. So yeah, no, I like Aaron Glenn. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. I think this whole bridge to Jason Witten is the path. Do I think Ben Johnson is possible? It's just Dijon? No, I don't. I hate it. Cricket Club, $2 super chat. Do you think Jerry would look at Bob Stoops? Nah, I don't personally. I think Bob Stoops. I just that name don't seem like it got any sizzle to it. Maybe like when Bob Stoops was out here making moves, but I don't see it. Glenn will be a great head coach. I agree, Vinny. No question. But yeah, I don't think it's not Ben Johnson would be a great coach too. I think he got some juice. I think he looks like he has a good demeanor to him. I love the way he leads his Lions offense. The thing about Ben Johnson, though, Ben Johnson has like a bunch of demands that's been floating around on the internet. I personally don't think that like I don't think nobody going for that. You know? I just don't think nobody going for that. I don't think Jerry's going for that. I think other teams will go for it. Jerry's not letting you give a list of demands. Jerry just not. I hate it. You should consider the best candidate. And when you're a billionaire, you shouldn't be worrying about a couple million. You're a billionaire. Go get the best candidate for this team. You know, I think that I think Mike Zimmer knows his stuff. I was saying this about Micah. Micah said that, we got to get prepared for a new staff completely. I think Micah's just bracing. I think Micah just don't know who coming back. I don't think Zimmer's definitely done. Zimmer said he loves coaching, so I think he does want to coach. And I don't think if we can't get nobody, I think they want to keep Zimmer on as the DC. But the next head coach might not like Zimmer. You know? Yeah, I know. That's Vinny. 100%. Vinny tapped in. I'm getting Vinny in mind. Vinny tapped in. Micah said on this podcast he thinks Zimmer's gone too. He do. So there's a lot going on. Cowboys hater herder. That's a hard name to say. Get ready for the 4 curl route combo. Don't do that to me, Cowboys. Cowboys hater. Don't do that to me. I do not want to think about those Kellen curls because they on deck. Kellen come back, 4 curls is back like it never left, like CFT. Oh, I got something on the mic. Zimmer didn't really get a fair shake. I would like to see him back. I wouldn't mind Zimmer back. I like Mike Zimmer. I never thought about having Mike Zimmer as our head coach. But 100% they will use Zimmer as a bridge. They just trying to, whatever the path to Jason Witten, I think that's the goal. This is the crazy thing. Can I say something? I ain't trying to be morbid. How old is Jerry Jones? How old? Jerry like what? Seriously, no jokes. Oh, no hate. Jerry 82? Somebody said 1,099. Y'all wild. Jerry out here making plans for like 3 years from now? That's crazy. Hey, Jerry might be healthy as an ox. I ain't talking about Jerry. I got high blood pressure, so Jerry might be healthy as an ox. I'm just saying. At 82 or 83 or whatever, I feel like you should be like trying to get things done. That's all. Like if you 82, all right, I'm within shouting distance of the after. Glenn White, $2 super chat. I'm calling it. Jerry going to go get Deion. Watch. Hey, Glenn White, you act like if we got Deion, I wouldn't come in here celebrating. I wouldn't be mad. Thank you for that $2 super chat. If we got Deion Sanders, I'm celebrating. The only thing that would be maddening about Deion Sanders is y'all better get ready for this. But let me get my point out about Jerry before I get to Deion. I just feel like you trying to prep the next coach. You got 3 years and like, yo, dog, like if you 82, you like, all right, bare minimum. When I get to my 90s, it might be on deck. So if you 82, you like, I got like 20 years max. Like if Jerry lived to be 100, like you ODing, so you right there, like you playing around, like, all right, let's get Jason Witten trained up. What? I'm trying to win today. He got plans for Jerry Jones Jr. Like, man. It is Dan Cannon with envy. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like trying to get a plan together to train up Jason Witten is a wild life to live. Get the best coach. Stop playing. Anyway, back to Deion. Deion Sanders. Let's just play the hypothetical game, y'all. I got another little bit of time for y'all. Hypothetically, Deion Sanders being here, right? Y'all do know that if we got Deion Sanders, like let's just say in the next 3 weeks, we pull it off. Deion Sanders is coming to be a Cowboys head coach. What's the next thing? What's the next headline? Y'all better be prepared. Anybody that like that gentleman sitting over my left shoulder? There we go. Nightmares on it. The Dak Prescott getting traded to the Titans or whoever in the top so he can go get Shador is on deck. So if you're a Dak Prescott fan, it's a wrap. If Deion Sanders comes here, that means he's talked Jerry Jones into trading away Dak Prescott. And then Jerry got to talk Dak Prescott into waiving his no trade clause. It's a lot of steps. I know Dak has a no trade clause. So it's a lot of talking. Hey, Dak, Deion don't want you. And as much as Dak got a no trade clause, if Deion Sanders came in and said, yo, I don't want you here, Dak will waive it because I don't think Dak going to just fight through it. $20 super chat from Glenn White. Hold on. Throw the fire in there for my dog. Glenn got a point to make. Excuse me. Sorry. That cold coming back. Thank you for that super chat, Glenn. Deion is the only person that can manage these personalities. I agree. He's our Phil Jackson. Deion is probably the only guy that Jerry might listen to. I agree. He has mad respect for Deion after those Super Bowls. Only black coach that's possible. I agree. That all of that is cool. I agree with all of that. Only thing that's stopping Deion, and thank y'all for throwing that fire in there for Glenn. Excellent point. I'll try to speak to all your points. Deion is the only person that can manage these personalities. True. Deion's a huge personality, and I think he can manage them. I agree. He could be our Phil Jackson. I agree. That's a lot of championships, so I would love that. Deion is probably the only guy that Jerry will listen to out of respect for Deion after those Super Bowls. I agree. 100%. I agree with that. And he's probably the only black coach he would consider. I do agree with that. Although I want Aaron Glenn, I don't know if he would consider him. The problem with Deion Sanders is this. Jerry ain't trying to spend no money, no manion, no moolah, no dinero, no cheddar, no bread. He ain't trying to spend none of that. Deion ain't cheap. He got a buyout. He would want at least $10 to $12 million a year. Once you get the no, Jerry ain't doing that. He just not. That's the thing I can't see. But if he did it, it's lit. It's super lit. If Jerry did it, I'm in here. I'm gonna bring champagne on the stream, and I ain't even drinking right now. I'm gonna get some of that cheap Welch's stuff, that bubbly. They ain't alcoholic. Keep up the great work that you're doing, man. Blue Virus with the $1.99 super chat. Keep up the great work that you're doing. Thank you, Blue Virus. I appreciate you for that $1.99 super chat. Genie Blue, $1.99 super chat. That's Micah being a leader. I agree, man. Thank you for that $1.99 super chat. Sorry I missed those joints. Slid past me a little bit. So Glenn White, man, we're on the same page, man. I do think that Deion will be amazing, and all that stuff you said is true in your $20 super chat. Royal Sports, what's good? What it do, Ron? What's good with you? I think that the background stuff, Jerry got to put in some work. All that stuff Jerry talks about, Deion is the play. It's the biggest publicity. He would get the culture together. Deion would be perfect. I really do believe it. I just don't know if Jerry would do it. But I'll say this, though. Never say never to anything. So I ain't going to say never. I'm saying I don't see it. So out of respect for Glenn and people that want Deion, because I want him to, I don't see it. But I never say never, man. Jerry might be like, yo, I'm old. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of y'all talking trash about me. I'm tired of the media. Fuck it. And he just pushes chips to the middle. This might be Jerry's last effing move. Glenn White, $2 super chat. Dak ain't out with the Deion. We get Shiloh instead. I think Deion gonna want he gonna want Shador, man. And if Jerry say F it, push all his chips to the middle, he ready to win and get Deion, We could cross the Dak Prescott, it might get traded bridge when we get there. We got to get Deion here first. It's so many things that would happen with that. So let's just, if we could get Deion in the door, we could talk about a lot of stuff. And no, I'm not giving up on Dak Prescott. But if we get Deion in the door, we could talk about some things. Now, I'll tell y'all this is about to sound foul. I don't know how good Shedeur Sanders is. That's the truth. I don't know how good Shedeur Sanders is. Am I saying he's not an NFL quarterback? No, because there's some trash out there. It's some trash out there. So I ain't saying Shedeur ain't an NFL quarterback. But make no mistake, excuse me. Shedeur Sanders ain't coming in here and being Dak Prescott. Y'all know that, right? Shedeur Sanders ain't coming in here and throwing that pill like Dak. That's a wrap. Dak Prescott, and I ain't did it. It's been 55 minutes. So let me get my little Dak. Y'all can call it Dak propaganda. I don't care. Let me get my little Dak off. Let me get my, what I'm saying? Dak Prescott is a phenomenal quarterback. I would still say Dak is top 10, but he did not play like it this year. So if you want to say Dak is top 15, fine. Fine. You can say Dak about to be 32. Fine. Dak Prescott is one of the better quarterbacks in this league. Moving off of him right now, when you got great players like Micah and CD, would be nuts. Demetria Williams, $20 super chat. We don't need Kellen Moore. I don't see 180. We don't need Kellen Moore. I agree. First of all, fire emojis in there for Demetria Williams. Thank you for the $20 super chat. We don't need Kellen Moore. I don't see 180-degree culture change with Kellen Moore. And that's one of the main issues. That's a phenomenal super chat. Let me read that again. Get you a mind. That joint was dope. We don't need Kellen Moore. We do not need Kellen Moore. I don't see 180. Everybody always say 360-degree, 180, turn the other direction. Culture change with Kellen Moore. And that's one of the main issues. That's a fact. Very good point. Kellen Moore wouldn't change. He'll get the offense jumping. That's it. He wouldn't care about defense. He ain't leading no men. I don't see it. I don't see none of it. But with Dak Prescott, back to my point. Listen, there are teams in this league struggling at QB. Struggling. Let me run this down to you so you can make sure you feel good about having Dak Prescott as your starting quarterback next year. Dak Prescott did not tear his ACL, knock on wood. He didn't tear his Achilles, knock on wood. He did tear his hamstring. I ain't never heard of a hamstring ending a career. Does it take time to heal? Yes. But this ain't one of those injuries. Knock on wood. He has not done the unspeakable. Achilles ruins careers. ACL slows people down, not hamstring. So let's just put that out there. Secondly, when people say, yo, man, move off Dak, listen here. It is a quarterback crisis right now. It's scarce out here. You want to know why it's scarce? I'm going to run down some teams to you. And then you start thinking, well, what they going to do? How many draftable quarterbacks are in this draft? Half the people in here probably don't even think Shedeur Sanders can start. It's Cam Ward and who? Some people don't even like Cam Ward. Can you name them, Brandon? Who? Who is in this draft that's getting Jackson Dart? I like him as a developmental quarterback. Jackson Dart ain't about to take nobody nowhere no time soon. I think Jackson Dart in 2 or 3 years could be pretty great. Believe me, if you say Jackson Dart, now we up to 2. Will Howard? All right. What franchise Will Howard taking over? I saw Will Howard struggling versus Texas. He wasn't Jalen Milroe. Have y'all seen him lately? Do y'all understand? Y'all think these dudes is coming in and being better than Dak right now? Am I tripping? Can them dudes develop into something? I'm talking about starters. They might develop. They need 3-4 years. They need some bacon. They need to sit on the shelf a little bit. So, hear me out. Who gonna start for the New York Giants? Look, the Titans need a quarterback. The Browns need a quarterback. The Giants need a quarterback. The Raiders need a quarterback. Titans, Giants, Browns, Raiders. Vikings actually have quarterbacks on their staff, so I'll give them a pass. Jets need a quarterback because apparently Aaron Rodgers is gone. We up to 5. What the Steelers doing at quarterback? Are they keeping Justin Fields? Are they moving on from Aaron Rodgers? We up to 6. What the Saints doing? They sticking with whatchamacallit? We up to 7. It's some teams out here. It ain't enough quarterbacks to go around. I'm just saying. So y'all want to move off Dak? That's fine. What you trying to do? Because you think it look rough this year, it can get crazy. Y'all know who the Titans is running out there the starting quarterback this year? Y'all want Drew Lock in this piece? Like, the options out here get spooky. Like, nah, I'm not saying don't plan for the future. I'm not saying don't draft somebody and start developing them. Like I said, bring in a Jackson Dart, give him 2 or 3 years on the bench, get him right. Yo, when you got to literally say Daniel Jones might have a market next year, it's spooky out here. Is the Saints going to stick with Geno? I mean, not the Saints. The Seahawks going to stick with Geno Smith? Like, it's not a lot of quarterbacks coming out of college. It's quarterbacks staying in college. Carson Beck said, I'm straight. I'm going to stay. Will Levis. Y'all want some of that? Y'all want some of that? It's spooky out here. I don't want to start over right now. Are we going to have to eventually? Yeah, but nah, I'm cool. I'm going to stick with Dak. I'm sorry. Quinn Ewers. I'm cool, and I'm a Texas fan. No. Now, am I saying that Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the league? No. But God damn it, get him some weapons and let's figure it out. I ain't trying to start from scratch. I'm cool. I'm just straight. It could get dark really soon. Yo, the Jets don't have an option because the quarterbacks are going to be gone when the Jets pick. Who the Jets going to have playing quarterback next year? They might bring Zach Wilson back. Where are they going? Like, the market is, man, it's spooky. I'm not, nope. Trey Lance might get a job. It's that dark out here for quarterbacks. I'm not going. No. Get Dak a legitimate backup. That's all good and dandy. But look, man, I'm rocking with my all-pro. The last time he played a full season, led the league in touchdowns. I'm rocking with my quarterback. I'm sorry. That's just me. Jets might bring back Sam Darnold. They might because they don't really have options. People talking about Sam Darnold just messed up his money. He might not get $100 million, but he gonna get a job. It's so many people that need quarterbacks. When you got like 8 teams that need quarterbacks, but 1 or 2 are draftable, that's 6 teams. It's about to get funky. That's why when I hear stupid stuff, nobody would even sign Dak if he's a free agent. Dak wouldn't be a free agent for 20 minutes. Will Greer. He might get a. I'm just saying, man. But look, I'll wrap things up by saying this, man. The Cowboys, right? It's a lot of coaching things going on. James Slater said Jerry's making calls. I do think Jerry wants to make a splash, but I also think that Jerry wants to train up Jason Witten. That's what I'm saying right now. As more information comes out, I'll get it out there. The Deion Sanders thing, though, I would love it. I don't see it happening, and I want to say this to be clear at the end of my stream. Um, One, I love y'all. It's been 300 people in here with me for an hour. I really do love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I really do appreciate y'all. So that's first. I always love to say thank you because y'all ain't had to rock with me for an hour, and y'all did. So I love that. Um, my coach that I want right now is Aaron Glenn. I would love Deion, but coach. My coach is Aaron Glenn. I think he would be phenomenal at the job. I think he could build a culture here. He's a former Cowboy. He was a Parcells guy. He understands how the building works. He can build relationship with his players. I think Aaron Glenn would be great. That's my thought process. I do want to tell anybody that caught the last part of the stream. I do think Kellen Moore could be in play because that's a lazy move. Enjoyed it. Appreciate you, Troy. Man, hit the sub button, man. I jump in here a lot. Welcome to the family. You too, Vinny. Um, and lastly, I'll say this, man. The news ain't about to slow down. As y'all can see, as soon as Mike, remember how slow it was as a Cowboys fan the last month or two? Mike McCarthy decided to not sign a contract, and the Cowboys news has exploded. It ain't going backwards, y'all. We're about to get news from mad sources, everybody. Like everyone, this is not going to slow down. It's not going to slow down. It's not. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all rock with your boy. Hit the sub. If y'all getting out of here to go watch another stream, man, go raid my brother Boss Cowboys stream. I'm sure he's live. Say CFT raid because I love them brothers. I love Boss. I love Law. My dog Big Game V over there, the OC. Go show my brother some love. I'll be back. Might be back live tomorrow. You never know. As stuff come out, man, we gonna have to talk. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I holla. Subbed up. Appreciate you, Vinny.